listeners, we are back and welcome to the Elevator Pitch Showdown today. Today's been a really interesting experience. We've talked to several startups around the world. In today's episode, we're going to be hearing from Felicia today. Felicia, tell us where you're joining us from.
I'm joining from Canada, specifically Grimsby, Ontario. It's
from Grimsby, Ontario, close for those of people that don't know Grimsby. Unfortunately, Felicia, we always tell them it's close to Niagara Falls, right?
Exactly.
Felicia?
It's in the Niagara region, actually.
In the Niagara region, right? So when you land in Toronto and you want to go to Niagara Falls, you have to drive by Grimsby. It's a great little city with nice, vineyards and farms, as well as some founders. So, Felicia, we're going to talk about your platform today, right? So I want you to give your elevator pitch, and we'll give you some feedback. And if you'd like, I'm also happy to pitch your idea back. So I will start off by introducing myself as an investor. Okay.
Cool.
And I will then you may give your pitch, and we can have a powerful elevator pitch feedback session and pitch back, if that works for you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, excellent. All right, I'm going to kick it off. Good afternoon, good morning, actually, here in Grimsby. Felicia, my name is Singh. I am a distant cousin of the billion-dollar L'Oreal family, the French L'Oreal family. And we're looking at in the startup ecosystem, and we heard you're working on something interesting. Tell me a little bit about what you're working on, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, as we all know, or need to be reminded of, the skin is the largest and most visible organ in the body, protecting every other organ. At the end of the day, your skin, my skin, is worth it. My name is Felicia Lekan-Salami, CEO and founder of Lightbeaute. Personally, I have a hormonal skin condition that I'm dealing with, and my not so great experience on the journey to getting the right information, help, service, and support at the best bargains made this my passion and mission of delivering a seamless experience and journey to the users of Lightbeaute. So who's Lightbeaute? Lightbeaute is a fully integrated, orchestrated platform that leverages computer vision and progressively AI and machine learning to put the power of your skin health and care in your hands. We're building a technology that unlocks the value for everyone on the platform to access at the press of a button: skin analysis, relevant information on identified conditions, quick recommendations to discounted products and services that can be shipped and booked at the click of a button as well. Today, similar platforms that are available have limited features and are not neutral, as they focus on their own brands and services, which leaves the customer with no choice but their own buyer's offering. Our core is the skin healthcare platform linked to verticals that generate multiple layers of revenue streams via commissions and subscriptions. And those verticals are skin products and medication, dermatologists, skin spas and treatment centers, nutrition. I mean, what you put in yourself is who you are, whether it's from a weight or from a skin perspective. And finally, the fifth vertical is cosmetics, what we call nutritious makeup. We offer a new network economy approach through this unique integrated platform that has a menu of diverse solutions for diverse skin issues. We are completely dynamic in how we can match the right customer to the right solution. Our platform empowers people to make choices without bias. We're starting off with the North American market and the first two verticals being the skin product and medication and the dermatologist. And as we grow and scale to other markets like Asia and the Middle East, where they're very conscious and they spend a lot of money on good skincare. Currently, we have letters of intent from two local providers here in the GTA. who immediately showed interest at first contact. A casual conversation also with the business development lead at a global skincare company revealed their interest, and he's indicated that once we have the product and we're ready and willing to partner, they will offer their products on the platform. On the customer side, we're excited to hear, we've been having a lot of secondary conversations with potential customers, and we're excited to hear from potential users, like a mother who says that at the middle of the night, she notices an unusual rash on her baby, and she knows she has the power on her phone to scan and get details, and immediately she's able to order medication at the same time that will be delivered to her the next day.
Yeah. Felicia, a quick question for you. Where do you need help?
Yeah, I've come to that.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, the other excited consumer we've had an interaction with is the recent university freshman who's suffering from acne and looking forward to be able to clear that and have shareable moments about his experience on social media. And so those type of stories excite us. Where do we need help? We're asking for $2 million to develop the platform, the technology for marketing and operational cost as well. We're bringing the future of the skin ecosystem. We're building the future of the skin ecosystem, and we would like you to join us on this journey that changes the way the world sees and cares for their skin.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Felicia, for that. Let's get some feedback for this computer vision powered platform. So Felicia, thank you for your pitch. This is actually a very big issue, and we do recognize that a lot of formulations and skincare products don't take into account things like different skin tones for people, right? Is it safe to say most skincare products have been developed and designed for the Anglo-Saxon population, like just European skins, right? So that's that. There's an element around that. It doesn't take into consideration the weather, right? Humidity, and all these other elements, right? So you have a lot of skincare products that you might be using, right? And obviously you're probably more of an expert in this space than I am, but it's definitely a real issue. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit, you talked about computer vision along with kind of this learned, the machine learning component, right? And AI that will help make this work. Tell me about the results that you hope to see with this, right? Tell me a little bit about the results that you hope to see with this. Like I want to just focus on one user as well, like because it's early stage, right, Felicia? So usually in the early stage, it's good to just focus on one user path, because especially in the makeup and beauty product space, cost of acquisition of your customer is very high, right? And so when we think about that, marketing to everyone in the cosmetic space is very, very expensive, right? And so that's why when I asked you about where I could help you, I felt like there was one use case. But like going from babies to young women to, elderly people at the beginning, it might be difficult for you to get product market fit and enough revenue traction to prove that model, right? And so that was kind of just one thought. The second thing around it is I felt like your pitch was great, but I got most of the points within the first 90 seconds. You know what I mean? And I want to it's always about kind of reading the person you're pitching, right? Because you want them to start jumping in. You get what I'm saying? And what I've discovered with investors is that their attention spans are around 6 to 8 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we have and obviously there's some people that are delightful and are able to allow you to be able to speak a little bit longer, but I've found, especially like the typical male banker investor, okay, that you meet in an elevator. It's like 1 minute, get it across, see if there's traction, pull them in, and then, you know, some of the use cases that you started off could come in maybe when you're invited to the boardroom. But tell me about like the results around this, right? Like, give me one use case, right? Because I know that you've obviously dealt in the skincare space, right? And you've had an experience in that, and that's drawn you towards this, which is amazing. And it's something that, you know, when you look at a startup, you want to make sure that the founder has a deep level of empathy, and it's obvious that you do, right? There's no question around that. But I want to understand, you know, the typical user that's going to use this. Who is that typical user that you're talking about? And I feel like with the computer vision and all the different elements that you're looking to do, there is a beautiful untapped market around this. So can you tell me who that person would be if we started off tomorrow, right? You got your $2 million. Who would be that first ideal group of early adopters, and what benefit would they have as part of your platform?
Yeah, I think you mentioned all the all the right points in terms of how the beauty industry is defined today. That untapped market would be that person age 16 to round about 65, where they're the most concerned about how they look at that point. So think about the 16-year-old in the university. They're now being more conscious of, you know, how they look and what people think about them. And then if you progress that to, I know it's a very wide range, 16 to 65, but like I said, the skin is so important that at every stage in that band, people are concerned about their skin for different reasons. And so that early adopter is that person who wants to build the confidence, who cares about how their skin looks on a Zoom call, for example, or even at a board meeting, that, you know, if they see a rash, they're bothered about, how do I clear this? If they see an acne, they're bothered about, how do I clear this?
Sure.
So I don't know if that's too wide, but I mean, if from research, I've spoken to very, very many groups, and everybody within that group at the minimum is concerned about their skin and will adopt quite easily.
Yeah, you know, so Felicia, that's where, you know, again, when it comes back to marketing, right? You know, I always find that, you know, the pains, the needs, the gains, right? And understanding the user journey process is important, right? So Felicia, you talked about 16 to 65, right? Which is a very wide range. That's pretty much everyone. You just said, like, you know, and when I pitch back to you, I'll give you an example. It might not be the right one, but I'll give you an example of what I'm thinking about. But I feel, again, when you look at a person's user journey, Felicia, right? You look at, I'll give you an example. You look at it, because this is a product for women. Is that fair to say?
Okay. No, it's a product for male and female. So So let me just rephrase the untapped market. So let's put it at 16 to 24, or, you know, young adults getting to university, getting into early work space. And so it can be male, female, and they're technology savvy already. So it's easy for them to download an app and interact. So let's keep it at that group.
Yeah. So the reason I bring it up, Felicia, is that when I look at early stage startups, right, it always comes back to like the 10x value proposition or the 4x value proposition. But you also have to think about people's willingness to pay. And sometimes you want to help everyone. It's obviously, Felicia, the reason why you've started with 16 to 65 is you're like, I want to help everybody. I love everyone, and I know this is a problem, and I'm highly empathetic towards them. But what happens is in the startup world, unfortunately, the world works on this concept of traction, right? Who are the people? Because your problem solution fit, Felicia, is everybody, okay? Everyone has this problem and they want to make it better. Agreed. Then you have product market fit. And there's a group of people that have a smartphone. Okay. There's a group of people that have a pain that's bad enough that they're willing to download another app and invest the time and energy to solve this problem. Okay? Right. And then there's a group of those people that are willing to pay for it too, Felicia. Does that make sense? And so when
willing and able is important, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they have a
not able, right?
Yeah. So if you have a smartphone and you're able to leverage these components, but like when I look at this, it's very important, and I feel like even looking at I think the term is like the in Canada they call it the BIPOC community, right? The BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, and people of color, right? Okay, for everyone else that's joining us globally. And so the idea of, when I paint this out, Felicia, I look at the BIPOC female executive, okay? Somebody that's just got their job, and they want to improve their career. They might be also looking to settle down, get married, and you know what I mean? So there's that reference, right? So like, I come from a family of color, and I know the social stress for females in my community when they have to get married when they're around 24 years old. They start getting it's about understanding that user journey for the first group of early adopters. Right. And when I think about what you're doing, it's, when you think about reworking a business model, you talked about the computer vision and machine learning to early detect, recommend treatments, and connecting those dots and just being the affiliate, right? That's beautiful. But part of it is also about affordability too. Okay. That's another key element to it, right? I think that, everyone would, a lot of people, not everyone, I certainly don't, but a lot of people would like to look like Kim Kardashian, okay, all the time. However, right, Kim Kardashian has a little bit more money than most of us, right? You know what I mean? So the idea of finding the optimal value from a pricing perspective, Felicia, which didn't come out, and I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like you look at the person and say, what's your budget? What can you afford, right? What's your annual, monthly, I don't know what women call it, but
disposable income, right?
Well, their beauty budget, right? Like, you know what I mean?
That's one.
Where they go, and again, obviously, I don't really fall into the category right now, and I have a beard that covers half of my face, so skincare is not usually that big of a deal. But my point is, I do use skincare products, by the way, but not as much as most people would. But the point is that when I think about what you're doing, Felicia, it's about the idea of using technology to inspire and drive all these elements and then make sure it's affordable to them. Because part of skincare is about a regimen that is completed, correct, Felicia?
Yes.
Right? You have to maintain it. Am I right?
Exactly.
Right? Like when I got married, I remember when I met my mother-in-law, and I mistook my mother-in-law as my wife's sister. I met her for the first time. I'm like, oh, are you the girl, my wife's, I was like, or my future wife's, I was like, are you an elder sister? And I discovered this person had stuck to a skin regimen her whole life, and she stayed young. She's still gorgeous and beautiful, right? Do you know what I mean? 16 years later, right? And so the thing is there's this element too, to understand the user journey and the lifetime value relationship you're going to have. Does that make sense? Right, Felicia?
Yes, it does.
So that's kind of what I'm trying to build out with what you're trying to do, right, Felicia? Right. And I feel getting that first piece right, getting the traction, putting your $2 million to work to get it working, and then looking at other groups of people and expanding from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
And it just helps the investor feel like there's a focus element around it, you know, and going from
Mm.
there, right? Does that make sense,
Yeah,
Felicia?
it makes sense. And that's why even on the vertical front, we're not, aiming to do all the verticals at the same time. So we'll just stick with
Yeah.
the products and the medications and the dermatologists, and we'll come to the other stuff later, right?
Yeah. The skincare products, the dermatologist. What was the third thing?
So there's the spas, nutrition, which is what you eat that helps your skin. And then there's the cosmetics, which is the makeup, what we call nutritious makeup comes in.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So, Felicia, would you like me to pitch your idea? Can I pitch Lightbeaute back to you, please?
Absolutely,
Okay.
please do.
Right. Now, I obviously, Felicia, I might not be the best spokesperson for this, but I'm going to try based on the user platform, right? So I'm gonna, because I do believe that there's a group of underserved people here. Now, before I pitch, I have one last question, Felicia. When we think about the underserved community, the people that are not getting the right products at the right price in North America, how many women are there between 16 and 30? How big is this market? Let's go a little bit deeper. How many people do you think there are, women customers, that are not getting the right type of beauty products for them? So
It will be, if we think North America being the US and Canada, it will be over 200 million people, because split between male and female is almost, there are more women than men from what the population statistics show.
okay.
And over 45% of those people fall within the age group of the 16 to 30.
Got it. Got it. All right. Felicia, I will ask if you can introduce yourself. You get to be anyone you want, and I will attempt to pitch Lightbeaute to you. Right? Over to you, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to follow the same line as you.
Okay.
Hi, Ash, how are you doing today? My name is Felicia Lekan-Salami, granddaughter of the L'Oreal family
Excellent.
in France. And I hear you're working on a skincare platform. It will be really lovely to hear what you're up to and how this will benefit the world
Thank you
and
very
make money
much.
for
Yes.
yourself and your investors.
Yes, it's a real honor. It's a real honor to meet you. And allow me to share. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Lightbeaute team. As you know from the L'Oreal story, your family were innovators in this space in terms of skincare, but the world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. We now have smartphones, we now have demographic changes in the world, and we felt now is the time to bring the next generation platform to play for beauty. And basically what we've been able to do is, using your mobile device, the computer vision, the camera, along with the system on the chip to kind of allow people to take photographs of their skin, we can now give a much more accurate element around the person's skin. And this can tell you, based on their skin color, and it doesn't have to be just European skins. It could be people from Africa and people from India and China and Korea, but the elements of their skin, how the food they're eating is affecting their skin, and where they're living, the humidity and all the other elements, to give a really direct picture and an accurate depiction of their skin health. And from there, our platform can create a recommendation engine based on their budget to help improve and put the right regimen in place for them to have the right solutions and improve their skin as a whole. We've put all the technology components together, and our hope is to create the next generation confidence as a service platform and develop confident women. We're going to start off with the 16 to 28-year-old BIPOC females, right? Executives, students that are looking to make a big change. And from there, we want to grow and take our platform to the next level. We're looking for $2 million to build this platform out and innovate and disrupt the industry. And as somebody from L'Oreal, if you can't disrupt yourself, you might as well invest in somebody that is. So I'm happy to chat to you about an opportunity to participate. Thank you.
Fantastic. That was really good, and a different flip to it. Like, I like how you built on where we are in today's world and how it applies to that small sect, but highlighting that the opportunity is bigger than that, but we'll get there. So I like the
Absolutely.
way you.
Absolutely. And you know something, Felicia, you fall into the category of a person of color, a person of color, in this group. And I what I've started to see is that the user empathy has to come from somebody that's experienced it themselves. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when we think about that needs to be part of it. That's you, right? And you need to own it. You need to embrace that. And you need to make sure that you are, you're going to be the one that brings it. This is not going to be done by a bunch of people sitting in France. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to, it has to be localized. It has to be developed. It has to be somebody that's gone through your level of experience.
And you know that I work in diversity, equity, and inclusion as my 9 to 5, and the topic around provisions for people of color, especially in the cosmetic industry. I work in retail, and we talk to the likes of L'Oreal, Shiseido, and Co.
Yes.
It's a very big topic today because even out of corporate social responsibility, from a marketing perspective, from ingredient perspective, everybody is being called out to be more inclusive. So you find that a lot of them don't carry products for the darker skin tones, even when you talk about makeup as well. So it is a big topic. And now even data shows that when you look at the total addressable market, the people of color are gradually becoming the biggest spenders.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely. The money is definitely there. But for me, I want you to be the standard bearer, Felicia, right? When you come into your pitch, the level of conviction, you get what I'm saying? I want that to come out too in your pitch, right? Okay. And because you're the person, right, Felicia? Like, I'm sure everyone else that's watching here, they're like, wow, this is the person. If somebody's going to do it, it's probably this person, right? Based on your personal life experience, your work experience, your market access, right? But I wanted that to come out. So I hope you enjoyed my pitch. And again, I did nothing unique. I just listened to you, and I tried to transfer what I felt, what you were trying to say to the universe, okay? And make sure it just kind of comes out with a little bit more force, a little bit more vigor, a little bit more just tenacity, in order for you to kind of win over the investors, right? Because it is a bit of a challenge, right? So I want to thank you, Felicia, for your time. Hopefully you found value today. And look forward to seeing how we can innovate this space, okay? Create a more equitable space, right? In the cosmetic space, right? Because it's always about equity, and it's amazing for people like yourself, Felicia, that are taking an opportunity to make that difference. And we love what you're working on, and really glad that we can support you as part of the Hyper Accelerator program.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you very much, Felicia. My pleasure.
And thanks for everyone's feedback. I see the chat. Yeah.
Yes. Have a wonderful day, man.